Welcome from Indianapolis. I am Colonel Smiley. On today's show, we will discuss Indiana Sports Corp. I'm glad you are with me. That show starts right now. Ms. Allison Melangton is the president of Indiana Sports Corp. Ms. Melangton, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, I just want to thank you for coming back on the show. I think the last time you were on the show, we were doing a Super Bowl review over at Mr. Miles' office. So I just want to take a little bit of time to thank you for believing in myself and in my team, the Derwin Smiley Show, to commission us to do the Super Bowl Legacy Project documentary. So I just want to let you know I am forever grateful to you that you put faith in us and that trust in us. Now tell me, how have you navigated your career since the Super Bowl?
Well, the Super Bowl was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I want to thank you for the great shows that you did on Super Bowl. It was fantastic. So I've come back to the Indiana Sports Corporation and taken over the helm there and have become the president, and I'm really looking forward to the future and all the great things we're going to continue to do with sports.
Tell me a little bit of history of Indy sports for us, that individuals who might not know what the Indiana Sports Corp is all about.
Okay, great. We opened in 1979, so we've been in business for 33 years. We're a 501c3 not-for-profit, and what we do is bring events to Indianapolis and try to inspire community programs through sports. And so many folks know us from the big events that we bring to town, the Final Fours and the Super Bowl, Olympic trials and things like that, but we also do a lot of great things in the community. So I consider our corporation a community organization, and even though my job is in sports, I feel like I have a community job.
I want to focus on, you said something that your organization does a lot in the community. There was two programs that I came across, the health, Gear for Health, and the Champs Grant program.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about those two programs.
You know, we try to do, it's very important to us to focus on youth throughout the year, and then also at events that we host in Indianapolis. We have a very large focus on doing good things for youth, and the two programs that you brought up, Geared for Health is a program where we provide used and new and used gently used sporting equipment to organizations all over the state. Last year we distributed to 140 organizations, and it was 44,000 items. So we get sports equipment into the hands of organizations that don't have the money to buy them or wouldn't be able to have programs without the equipment. So that program is growing and growing more and more every day. It's a critical part of our business. The other program is called Champs Grants, and those grants go to organizations that want to do sporting programming and don't necessarily have the resources. So that's another key part of our youth programming at the Sports Corporation that's got a big community impact.
Tell me, how can the community give or get involved with Indiana Sports Corp?
You can get on our website. That's the best way. Our corporation survives on donations. We are a not-for-profit, which surprises a lot of people. We're not a city agency. We are a separate not-for-profit, and we survive by donations from corporate citizens, from individuals, and from foundations. And you know, we've got a long and successful history, but it's because the community has been so supportive. And again, we have a real focus on expanding our youth programs. Just in 2012, the Indiana Sports Corporation impacted 168,000 kids, either by bringing them to events to do clinics, by participating in Champs Grants, or participating in Geared for Health. So that's a lot of youth, 168,000 in just 1 year. We're going to continue to try to grow that.
So what does the future hold for Indiana Sports Corp?
We are constantly still out bidding against other cities to bring those big events. And you know, when we bid on a Final Four, we bid on a national championship, and we host that, we focus again on getting youth to those events and trying to student athletes are great role models, and so we're, in the future, we're looking at bringing more and more events. We're looking at another Super Bowl for 2018, which would be great. So we're continuing to try to expand our footprint by bringing events here, and then also to continue to impact our community through youth programs.
You said another Super Bowl, 2018?
Yeah.
I want to document that also.
Okay, that's a deal. We'll shake on that.
Shake on that. So we have it on tape.
Yes, it's on tape.
Got your word. So tell me why the organization is so important to the community. I think because in Indiana,
Yeah.
obesity,
Yes.
childhood obesity is a big issue. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Indiana has continued to rank very low in our health improvement and our wellness, and particularly in children. So what we try to do is, through these youth programs, educate youth and get them moving. We just had, for the first time ever, a lacrosse event in Lucas Oil Stadium, and as a part of that, we had a clinic where we ran a few hundred kids through a program to get them up and moving and holding a lacrosse stick, and hopefully encourage them to participate in programs. And some of those kids go to neighborhood programs that receive our Geared for Health equipment, including lacrosse sticks. So it's a little bit of a life cycle. But the childhood obesity problem is a huge nationwide problem, but particularly in Indiana. So if we can encourage kids through sport to be more active and eat healthier, then we're going to make a dent in it. And there's a number of us that are really focused on doing that.
Talk a little bit about how you're bringing different sports into the inner city. When you talked about
Yeah.
lacrosse, how many inner city kids really know anything about lacrosse?
Right, exactly. And it is a sport that doesn't require a lot of equipment. And kids, what kids don't love to play with sticks, right? And so it's a lacrosse stick. So we did a couple different things with lacrosse. We went to underserved youth programs, and we have a program called Inspiring Sports. Companies buy tickets, and then we distribute them to underserved youth and bring them to lacrosse events and other sports. So, it's important to expose kids to sports that they may never have had an opportunity, and they can do that through the Sports Corporation too. So, getting them up, getting them moving, exposing them to different programs and different sports is all what we're about.
How can your organization compete with iPods, video games, the internet? How can you get the kids to come out of the house from playing the Xbox and on YouTube and Facebook? So what's the plan of attacking that?
Yeah, you are so right. Their thumbs are very exercised, but the rest of them is not. We have to make it fun, and we have to make it exciting, and we have to make it interactive in a different way, not interactive with a video game, but interactive with people. And that's a challenge. And a number of these organizations that we distribute gear to, or we distribute funds to, we know and have researched that these groups are being successful getting those kids off the couch. And so that's another reason why we've selected those organizations. It is remarkable, the people that are dedicated to providing sports programs for kids, and so we want to keep fueling that so that we can get them off the couch, get them off the video games and so forth.
What's more important, winning another Super Bowl bid or changing the community of youth?
Well, no question, the future of our youth. But if we can use the Super Bowl to help do that, like we did in 2012, we impacted so many youth in participating in Super Bowl activities. If we can combine those two things to incent the youth, then that's the home run for everybody.
That's a great answer. great. So tell me, what does the future hold for Miss Melangton?
Well, I love working at the Sports Corp. I get up every day, and I can't wait to get to the office and dig in, and again, try to do great things for the community. So our future and my future is bringing more things to Indianapolis and Central Indiana, staying competitive with other countries, other cities across the country, trying to raise our profile and making sure that we're making good, solid decisions that affect the community in a really positive way.
Do you have any success stories that you can tell me?
Success stories?
About?
Well, I think we had a lot for Super Bowl, and that's most recent in my mind, even though Indiana Sports Corp has $1 million as well. We had some youth that we used to deliver the Super Bowl bids, And everyone thought we were crazy, but we said we're going to use 8th graders because youth is important. And we're going to validate to the NFL that youth are important. And we picked 32 youth across the state, and they hand-delivered our Super Bowl bids to the 32 different franchise owners. And when we told the NFL that's what we were going to do instead of sending them a traditional way, they said, are you sure that for 30 years your city's been investing in sports and you're going to put it all in the hands of an 8th grader? And we said, yeah, we are, because they're Hoosiers, and they're great kids, and we want them to be our face of our bid. So anyway, we won the bid, and so and those kids stayed involved with us for the whole 4 years of Super Bowl and still. And probably one of my best moments at the end of Super Bowl was I got a number of thank you cards from those 32 kids that they're now in college, and they said doing that was not just a game changer for me, it was a life changer, because people believed in us, believed in me as a child at that age in 8th grade, doing something so important for the city, and that it changed their outlook going forward. So that was a big success story for us.
She is Miss Allison Melangton. Stay with us.
Play. It's what we were all born to do. When we play, we laugh, we grow, we learn. But it's more than sportsmanship, teamwork, cooperation, and discipline. We also learn the joy and excitement of being active, skills and passions that can be the difference between a long, healthy life and one marred with illness and obesity.
Oh, I think the greatest challenge for physical education teachers is that we don't get to see our students enough. This generation is the first generation since we've been keeping records that don't have the life expectancy that'll be longer than their parents.
In many communities throughout Indiana, access to quality sporting equipment and ongoing physical activity is incredibly limited. It leads to some significant challenges.
Many of our kids don't have bicycles, they don't have a basketball at home or a football, so just the basic things that we all grew up with and had at our disposal, these kids don't have. Geared for Health gives an opportunity for my kids to experience equipment that maybe they've never had in their homes before.
Well, Geared for Health is basically a program that tries to fit supply with demand. We have a lot of at-risk kids in the city and around the state that can really benefit if they can get hold of equipment that they can start to play sports and learn all the lessons that you learn by being an athlete or just by participating.
The equipment from Geared for Health certainly keeps them busy, keeps them healthy, and it's just another way to help fight obesity, keep kids active, try to get them out, try to get them outdoors playing and trying to keep our kids healthy.
I like to play dodgeball. That's my favorite thing.
I like to play kickball. I like to kickball.
Play basketball. I like doing jump rope a lot.
Soccer, you can actually use your legs to try to make goals. And what was the other thing again?
Indiana Sports Corps is Geared for Health, keeping kids active and fit through better access to sports equipment. Get involved, get invested, support play.
I love it. Anything that can be played with, I'm ready.
Ms. Lynn Rogers is the Director of Children and Youth Services at Concord Neighborhood Center. Ms. Rogers, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Can you tell my viewers or tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, Lynn Rogers from Indianapolis, been here all my life. Just outdoor person. Like to get up and go have fun. Obviously, I've been working with kids, so I enjoy, working with young people and trying to help them better their lives. I've had a lot of people who've helped me along the way. So,
where did you get the passion for kids?
Wow, I've had a great family. So, mom and dad, always been into their kids and provide a lot of opportunities for us. Not always about money, but about just doing things and supporting us. And that's kind of where, I've got mine. I've always been a people person. So to work with kids is real easy for me.
How important, I think you said something that stands out, and I have to piggyback on. How important was it to have the support of your parents?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, to know that no matter what you do, you have this unconditional love. To know you can try things, you can fail, and they'll still, love you, accept you, encourage you. And I think that they're probably the backbone of everything I do because, you learn from them and they've been supportive and that's the way it should be. It should be.
Talk a little bit about the Concord Neighborhood Center.
Wow. Concord Neighborhood Center, probably the best community center in Indianapolis. We are about family. We are about people. We look at ourselves at Concord as a family. We work together, and many of us have been there for many years. And when our families come in, that's how we think of them, because we know that we're trying to help them. We know that we're trying to better their lives. So we look at ourselves as a family. It's a great place to bring your kids. We take kids as young as 3 years old. I tell people we keep them until they're 93. And we just try to help raise them. We have a multitude of services, whether it's education, social services, recreation, education, to try to help people and families become better. So oldest community center in Indianapolis. We're in a great location because we're near downtown, so we have a lot of exposure to people. We're a diverse community center. We have people that use us in many ways. We've had funerals there, we've had weddings, we have support groups, whether it's, Cooking Anonymous, support groups for families and parents, gym rentals, just a little bit of everything. So that's what we try to do as an agency and continue to do that and just make, lives better for people who live on the South Side, particularly the South Side, but we do all of Indianapolis. So if you need a community center, Concord Center's the place.
How can parents get involved?
Well, first of all, they can get their kids involved. We have before and after school programs. We have teen programs. Currently, right now, we're in our big summer program. Kids come summer day camp, so parents can get their kids involved. We always take volunteers who can bring, whether it's a skill, whether it's a program, something that they want to come and do for kids or adults. People can get involved, of course, by donations. If you have people that have a business or a skill and they're trying to reach people, they can do it that way. So there are several ways that people can be involved.
Can you talk a little bit about the partnership with Indiana Sports Corp? I think you have the Gear for Health.
Yes. Wow, we love Sports Corp. We've been involved with Indiana Sports Corporation as long as I've been there. And one way or another, we've been involved with programs through our youth. We've had volunteers come to the agency. We've hosted some events there. We, over the years, have used our kids to be involved in their programs, whether it's an introduction to a new sport such as lacrosse or gymnastics, archery, something that they're providing. It helps us introduce new sports to our kids. The Gear for Health program is probably one of the best programs in the city for youth. It basically takes sports equipment. Agencies such as ours can get it free of charge, no money out of our budget, and we take that equipment and we give it to kids. We all know the obstacles that kids have in terms of, no visit at school, not getting out and being active. This way they can come get sports equipment, use it. It can be new equipment, old equipment, and we use it and it goes directly to the kids or in our program. And we use it every day to help kids be active, learn a sport. Concord's currently doing baseball. The equipment we have, straight from Gear for Health. We have baseballs, new baseballs for the kids. We have gloves and things that they either don't get at home. It's something new to them, and it's just a great way to get kids involved, be physically active, and it's all through Sports Corp. Great program.
So where does your partnership with Sports Corp go in the future?
Wow. Well, our demographics have changed. So a lot of times we use Sports Corp again to introduce a lot of our younger kids to new sports. For our older kids in the past, they've funded programs where we've walked mini marathon. We have a program that we're involved in called Positive Swing, which is a golf program that the Sports Corp has funded. Our kids are involved in that in golf. For a lot of kids, it's a new sport. It's probably something they never would have done. And because of the partnership with Sports Corp, Concord Center, Positive Swing, our kids get involved in that. So we hope to continue to use them, especially as a way to introduce kids to new adventures, new sports. They get to see athletes. They get to be involved in events that they may not have the money to try. So we love doing that. So we hope to continue, and as long as they keep funding programs, having opportunities for kids, we will be a part of that.
She is Miss Lynn Rogers. Stay with us.
Hey, this is Dave Calabro from Channel 13. I just want to say thank you to all the sponsors that got behind Gear for Health. What a great effort today. It's great to see these kids are able to get the gear they need thanks to people reaching out and just giving and making it a simple process. $115,000 kids are going to be helped because of you. We need more people to jump on board next year.
Mr. Don Schafer is the president and executive director of Camptown. Mr. Schafer, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, as you mentioned, I'm the executive director of Camptown. I started as a volunteer several years back. I usually warn people about what they volunteer for. In 2004, I started as the executive director.
Tell me a little bit about Camptown, because as we were talking, that you always have to explain that this is not a camp.
Right, yeah, we are not a residential camp. What we do is we work primarily with other youth groups and put together a program based on their goals and objectives. It might be a day hike in a state park or a week of backpacking along the Appalachia Trail. It'll be hiking, backpacking, biking, fishing, canoeing, all outdoor nature-focused activities.
Where did you get your passion to work with the youth?
Oh gosh, I grew up walking the creeks of Indianapolis when I was a kid. And when my kids were young, we took them to the state parks, we did camping, and I've been involved in Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and my church group as well, and taking them kids outside. I just love the outdoors. I love working with kids, and that's one of the reasons that drew me to Camptown.
What is so important? Why is the outdoors so important?
Yeah, the outdoors is magical in a way. It takes kids out of their comfort zone. It gives them a new way of looking at it. The way I like to describe it is tell a story. When my son was 12, I took he and some friends mountain biking. And as we're unloading the car, these are 12-year-old kids. They're riding around the parking lot. They're all crazy. And we get out into the woods, and they go for the first drop. And they're all there not knowing what to do. And so they just kind of sit there looking at each other. So I come up and I take the drop and I go through and show them how to do it. And then they come back, and all of a sudden they're attentive, they're listening, they're asking questions. But it just gets them out of their comfort zone.
How can individuals get involved with Camptown?
We have a variety of ways. We use volunteers for some of our programs. We have a Natural Wonders Day Camp that works with inner city elementary kids. We bring them up to Fort Harrison or Eagle Creek for day camp immersion. We need station leaders and guides for those. We have other trip mentor volunteers opportunities, everything from a day to a week long. We have some overnights. And then we also have your typical organizational fundraising events and administrative.
So what does the future hold for Camptown?
Right now, we're in an exciting phase. We have grown since 2005 from 174 youth served to 3,006 served last year. And we've just moved our office and warehouse. We're just down the road from here, or up the road at 79th and Georgetown. But in that space, we've incorporated some play space. We have 2,000 feet of play space that we're looking to build an indoor bouldering facility. So what we can do is we can incorporate that with the groups we're already using, bring them inside when the weather's not good, bring them in the winter. Believe it or not, it's hard to get kids out camping and hiking in the winter. And just have them experience a little bit of outdoors indoors.
With the last few minutes that I have, I want to spend discussing your partnership with Indiana Sports Corp.
Yeah, the Sports Corp has been great to Camptown. We've been involved with them for years through the Champs program. They've helped us kick off 3 new programs for us through the Champs program. One is our Trailblazers program for youth with disabilities. Another one's our Natural Wonders Day Camp that I mentioned. And then the last one is what we call our Pathfinders, and it's a program for adjudicated youth, first-time offenders, status offenders, and children in need of services. And they were helpful in getting that kicked off. All those programs kicked off.
So where do you see your partnership with Indiana Sports Corp going?
Oh, we'd like to continue it moving forward. They're very open to new ideas. We're unique in the sports world, if you would. Our sports is a little alternative, but it's a great way to get kids out, get them exercising, get them into nature, and get them stretching themselves.
Do you have any success stories?
Oh, yeah. One comes to mind, our very first Pathfinders program that the Champs and Sports Corp helped us kick off. We had a young man who had gotten in trouble at school for having alcohol. And with this program, we spend 10 two-hour training sessions with them. It's all about getting to know them, relationship building, as well as getting them prepared for their adventure. And then we took them backpacking along the leg of the Appalachian Trail in Virginia with a whitewater rafting trip. And this young man was very quiet during the whole process. Getting to know him was kind of difficult, but he eventually came along and came into our youth leader program. And we spent a couple more years with him. I helped him through that difficult point in his life. I ran into him just a couple years ago, and he was studying law enforcement in college.
That's wonderful. And tell us again how families can get involved with your organization.
They can visit our website. Our programs are listed there. Our contacts are listed there, www.camptown.net. And that's the best way to get connected.
He is Mr. Don Schafer, the President and Executive Director of Camptown. And I thank you for tuning in to the Derwin Smiley Show today. And you can follow us on the World Wide Web at thederwinsmileyshow.com. And remember, my sole purpose is to inspire greatness in you. I'll see you next time.